Fighter jets scrambled, bomb threats prompt NORAD to take action over Calgary. Next stop, Airdrie.
This panel is reeking of nothing but separation.
Where can I get my lawn sign for Ottawa to keep their hands off my CPP?
The Alberta Next Panel Town Hall series continues. And changes to your driver's license. New Canadian citizenship markers meant to cut red tape.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. Fighter jets were scrambled over Calgary this afternoon after Canadian authorities received reports of bomb threats involving not one, but 3 incoming passenger flights from Germany. Several plane enthusiasts on the ground captured the drama overhead, including this Discover flight that had a fighter jet escort just over the city. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, tells CTV News that just after 2 o'clock and out of an abundance of caution, Canadian CF-18s and American CF-15 fighter jets, along with supporting and refueling aircraft, responded. Those 3 planes, including a Condor, which has capacity for over 300 passengers, all landed safely at the Calgary International Airport this evening. And in this video, you can see people deplaning right onto the tarmac. Emergency personnel, including Calgary police, responded after investigating the threat, NORAD confirming it was not credible. Shortly after 7 p.m., the scene was cleared and police say operations at the airport were minimally disrupted. It's not clear where the threat originated from. Tonight, Alberta's Premier brought her Alberta Next Panel Town Hall to one of the province's fastest growing municipalities, Airdrie.
We all know that Alberta has grown a lot in recent years, but few communities have grown faster than Airdrie. It's a welcoming and affordable community with great amenities and a quality of life that is hard to beat. These qualities are worth protecting.
Airdrie, now with a population of more than 90,000, is the 3rd last community to host the Premier Alberta Next Panel, with Grande Prairie and Calgary remaining. Touted as Albertans' chance to have their say to help pave Alberta's path for the future, the town hall covers 6 key areas: equalization and transfers, the Alberta pension plan, a provincial police force, constitutional changes, immigration reform, and provincial tax collection. The Premier and her panel were mostly given a warm welcome and were happy with how, or people rather, were happy with how the Premier has governed so far.
Do you trust a Conservative government that strives to listen to its people, prudently manage finances, and deliver what is best for Albertans made in Alberta? In conclusion, where can I get my lawn sign for Ottawa to keep their hands off my CPP?
My contribution rate was 1.9%. My kids today are contributing 5.95%, is being mismanaged, and I don't think they'll have a pension in the future. So it's a no-brainer.
Another topic that received a lot of support, a provincial police force. The crowd was asked whether it would support establishing one and take over from the existing RCMP, and it was a resounding yes. The province says it has filed a complaint with the Labour Relations Board against the union representing the province's 51,000 teachers. Finance Minister Nate Horner says the complaint is connected with a document the Alberta Teachers Association distributed after setting a strike date of October 6th. The government says the document consists of false claims, including about class size and supports for students. This afternoon, the ATA responded by saying it's no secret of the laundry list of issues facing Alberta school boards, educators, faculty, and students.
The least funded is something that is commonly known. The fact that our classes are bursting at the seams is commonly known. The fact that we don't have the resources for our students is commonly known. The fact that teachers have been talking about this for years is commonly known, yet the government wants to turn around and say that we're lying about it, and that's not true.
Teachers have asked for wage increases and more supports for growing class sizes and complexities. They have been offered wage increases of 12% over 4 years. The provincial government has also promised to hire 3,000 teachers over the next 3 years. In what the UCP government calls a Canadian first, the province of Alberta will make a special addition to all driver's licenses. It will add information about citizenship to both licenses and provincial ID cards. It's a change some say will be fraught with problems. Kevin Green has more.
Monday morning, Premier Danielle Smith said adding Canadian citizenship notation to provincial ID will cut red tape.
Why are we doing this? Because we believe in making things better, faster, and more convenient for everyone.
She even packed along her Minister of Red Tape Reduction to back her up. He admitted it's about a lot more than just cutting red tape.
The feds cannot provide us with one single source of data that tells us who's Canadian, who's not. It's going to be able to tell us, who our citizens are.
Functionally, it means when you head to the registry to renew your license, you'll need to bring proof of your citizenship status.
I think it's going to be more red tape. It's always more red tape.
Alberta New Democrats say it's simply virtue signaling to the UCP base.
My question now to the UCP is, would they be willing to illegally and unconstitutionally restrict programs that are available to legal residents of Canada?
But others worry it could lead to targeting immigrants, making it harder for them to get services.
If the system is changed, that may make some kinds of difficulty for the migrants.
So it's like for the people that aren't here, like that are citizens, I feel like that could cause something towards them. They would feel some type of way, knowing like they're citizens, knowing that we're also like, we let in a lot of immigrants in Canada, we're known for that. So I feel like they could take it a different way.
The new driver's license and Alberta ID will also incorporate your Alberta healthcare number. You won't get the new card until you renew it, which means if you just got a new driver's license in the last month or so, you'll wait almost 5 years before you get the new card. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Transit safety concerns are growing in Calgary after a pair of incidents in the last week. A transit operator was assaulted on Saturday night, and a sexual assault on a rider the day before is still being investigated. Jordan Canagan reports.
There are renewed calls to crack down on crime on Calgary Transit and around stops and stations.
This type of behavior is simply not something we can tolerate. So when it comes to making sure our transit officers are protected, we will continue to do the things we need to do.
Most recently, police say a bus driver was pepper sprayed and beaten. It happened Saturday night on 7th Avenue near Center Street.
The concern is that it's happening in the first place and happening on a weekly basis where it's involving, medical intervention and some form of policing.
It's the latest in a string of calls in which transit operators are being targeted. Since May, it's the 5th reported incident on a Calgary transit driver, with cases ranging from a stabbing in May to an attempted robbery with a replica gun last month.
It really does beg the question of why does this portion of society that misbehaves think that Calgary transit operators and the public transportation system is the place to go to do these sorts of things.
Transit users are becoming victims as well. Police say a teenage girl was sexually assaulted at the Shaughnessy station on Friday afternoon. Other riders say they have concerns when taking a bus or train.
I'm more nervous and scared because of all the stuff that's going on. Like, it's kind of sketchy. You never know what's going to go on.
I mean, I've seen a couple things that are kind of weird around the transit area, but never necessarily felt it safe. But at the same time, I also always carry a multi-tool on me.
Honestly, I feel like they need more security. It doesn't always seem to go pretty smooth. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't really good crowd.
Jordan Canagan, CTV News, Calgary.
Council has already approved spending up to $15 million onto installing protective barriers for operators. The city has also pledged to install signage to warn people of the consequences of harassing or assaulting transit workers. A Calgarian who climbed the local junior hockey ranks before heading south of the border was killed in a crash over the weekend. In a statement, Orca Weisblatt current team, the Alien American, said the community is heartbroken by his loss. Orca, one of 4 brothers who have all found success in hockey, spent 4 seasons with the Hitmen. After a stint with the Brooks Bandits, Orca also spent time developing younger players' skills before playing in the U.S. His former head coach in Brooks describes Orca as tremendously talented and a fun person to be around.
Everything with their family revolves around the game. Whether he was playing it, teaching it, going back to playing it, it's always hockey. So I think that's the special piece of this, is all the support that they will get from the hockey community.
Lorca was just 25 years old. A man is recovering after he was shot early Sunday morning. Police say it was a targeted attack that happened at the Kabul Lounge on 5th Avenue Southwest. The area was taped off while police investigated. No suspect description has been released. A teenage girl testified in a Calgary murder trial today that her former boyfriend, who's more than a decade older than her, admitted to a deadly shooting in the northwest community of Capitol Hill. Robert Matthews is one of 2 men accused of killing Jordan Jacques Vettin for allegedly not giving up his backpack 2 years ago. Terry Fikowski has the details.
The visibly upset teen girl testified that she was scared for her life after her former boyfriend, Robert Matthews, admitted to her that he shot a man dead while trying to rob him. The 15-year-old, who can't be identified under a publication ban, testified from another room with an emotional support dog. She says she was 13 when she met the accused on Instagram and developed a sexual relationship with him, who was 25 years old at the time. Matthews and another man, who also can't be identified because he was youth at the time, were charged after Jordan Jacques Vettin was shot in the chest in an alleged attempted robbery in the early hours of September 9th, 2023. The teen says she received text messages from Matthews after the shooting telling her to check the news. That's where she learned about the killing and that the suspect drove a car that sounded similar to the accused red Pontiac Sunfire. She told the court Matthews also brought her to a home in Chestermere 2 days after the shooting to drop off guns and that she was scared she was next. Court also heard that the teen's friend called 911 that same day after discovering alleged text messages sent from Matthews to the girl, including a picture of a gun. He was arrested after a near 30-minute police chase. Now, Matthews has pled not guilty in the judge-alone trial, which is slated to run until the 26th. Terry Fikowski, CTV News, Calgary.
Danielle is in our first look at the weather. We were just chatting about this. It's kind of like July and September did a swap.
Yeah, let's switch it up, you know. So we were rainy and cool in July, and we had the 3rd wettest July on record. So I'm sure you remember that. But we're looking at a lot of heat, longer term heat. And before I get into that whole longer term forecast, which I'll have for you in just a little bit, first this. So tomorrow, mainly sunny skies. To put this in perspective, today's high was 19. Tomorrow, you're looking at a high of 24. So a lot more heat tomorrow, a lot more sunshine tomorrow, calm winds, and pretty good air quality. Air quality health index will be at the low risk part of the scale. Your full forecast is coming up.
Danielle, thank you. Still to come, an inferno lights up a neighborhood in the deep southeast. It happened at a townhouse complex over the weekend in Sept. How neighbors are now stepping up to help.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Hundreds gathered at City Hall Sunday to pay tribute to political activist Charlie Kirk.
Today, loving our enemies seems to be an impossible task. The example of love that we are shown in this world is one that is predicated on an alignment of opinions and beliefs, a love which leaves no room for disagreement.
Attendees held candles and signs that read, "This is our turning point." And some thanked Kirk for helping them find Jesus. Calgary police officers were on hand to manage traffic and ensure safety. Similar vigils were also held in Edmonton and Red Deer. 2 Calgary police officers will no longer face disciplinary charges in the 2015 fatal shooting of Anthony Heffernan. The 27-year-old was shot after police kicked in his hotel room door during a wellness check. The allegations against the officers included unlawfully entering the hotel room and failure to properly evaluate tactical risks. Today, both were withdrawn, with the Crown saying the decision was not reached lightly and was due to how much time had passed and the low likelihood of any disciplinary action. Heffernan's family listened in remotely, calling it an egregious lack of accountability. The other 3 officers involved in the incident have resigned or retired from CPS, meaning they could not face discipline from the hearing. A dozen people are displaced after a Saturday night fire in the community of Sept. Some new details are emerging. One of the fire victims tells us the fear he experienced escaping his unit before going back in for his brother. Tyler Barrow has more.
A little bit. A home now gone. The Calgary Fire Department took this video to show Rylan Wheeler what's left after a fire tore through his unit and several others in the community of Sept. The Calgary Fire Department responded to the blaze around 9:30 Saturday night. 12 people are displaced.
My head went everywhere. My initial thoughts was just get out right out of the way.
Rylan and his brother Aiden Wheeler were renting out one of the units. After hearing his smoke alarm, Rylan knows part of the unit was on fire. He escaped, but noticed his brother's vehicle. Fearing he was still inside, Rylan attempted to go back inside, but the smoke was too much. He later learned his brother was not at home.
It seems like I was the only one in the actual whole duplex at the time. I'm happy that no one else was hurt.
One dog died, while firefighters were able to save one cat. Several two-story units were destroyed while the flames impacted a couple other adjacent homes. As firefighters were driving to the scene, they saw the smoke and flames and called a second alarm. We now know the fire originated on the outside of one of the units.
It was visceral. I mean, there were so many people out on the street.
One person was treated on scene for smoke inhalation. The cause is still under investigation. Community support has been pouring in through several GoFundMes. On Thursday, the A&W in Auburn Bay will be donating a portion of their proceeds to support victims impacted, while also matching cash donations.
We understand their pain, and we want to walk with them during this difficult time to let them feel they are not alone.
A gesture appreciated by those needing it most.
All of a sudden, I have a community backing me, giving me all the support I need and the kindness that it's in a world that we live in right now, it's hard to find in humans these days.
The total damage of the fire is estimated to be over $2 million. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
The Calgary Fire Department says the most common cause of outdoor fires is improper disposal of materials. Danielle's up next with their Skywatch forecast, and we do have warmer conditions as we continue through this earlier part of the week. Those details next.
Today in the city, well, we had some cloud cover. It was a little windy, gusting up to 43 kilometers per hour. A somewhat chillier wind at the north and northwest today. We're about to scrap all of that and get right back into summer. Lots of sunshine and certainly some heat that's going to build in thanks to this ridge of high pressure. This is going to strengthen as we go through these next couple of days. It's going to keep things stable. That will keep things mainly sunny, and that will allow our temperatures to climb up quite a bit. In fact, as we look through tomorrow mainly sunny and a high of 24 degrees. All right, radar and satellite. We did have activity earlier today. This is really starting to die out for the night, so that's some good news. And then after this, it's really stable. So let's just quickly get into, well, tomorrow. Tomorrow, mainly sunny. In the far, far south, you may notice some cloudy periods in the morning hours, but for the city of Calgary, mainly sunny skies, and that will continue for the next, well, really for the rest of this week. The only time that we have a chance of seeing any sort of late day sprinkle, and it doesn't look like it will be anything big if we get it at all, will be later on Thursday and potentially later on Friday, but we only have a 30% chance of that in the city. So check out these temperatures, 24 degrees for tomorrow. To put this in perspective, today's high in the city was 19, and then 27 for Wednesday. A normal daytime high for this time of year is about 17, 18 degrees. So well above normal, especially as we get into Wednesday. We'll still hold on to a good amount of heat Thursday and Friday. There may be some cloudy periods by then, and again, that small chance of a late day sprinkle. And by the weekend, it looks like we'll kick into those mid-20s, especially for Saturday. And if you like the 20s and you like some warmth and you feel like you missed some summer because of July and all the rain and cooler weather we had then, well, here you go. We're going to hold on to daytime highs in the 20s even through much of next week as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, Danielle, thank you. Well, there is no shortage of pet-loving humans who would do anything for their companions. But what there is a shortage of is trained veterinarians. Next, how one Calgary Post Secondary is hoping to change that. A striking display has been erected at South Centre Mall in honor of the upcoming National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. Members of the Blackfoot Crossing Historical Park were putting the finishing touches on a teepee this afternoon. The Blackfoot believed painted lodges brought protection and blessings. The one on display at South Centre was gifted to Global Fest in the spirit of reconciliation and collaboration.
Global Fest does what the Blackfoot-speaking peoples did when we signed Treaty Number 7 with Canada in 1877. We welcomed the newcomers to our land, and then our land became part of the fabric of Canada.
The public is welcome to walk through the teepee. Organizers hope it will lead to a better understanding and appreciation of Blackfoot culture. The University of Calgary is taking a step toward addressing the massive shortage of veterinarians. It's opening a new facility that has the capacity to train double the students. Jacqueline Wilson has more.
While the official grand opening of the new Veterinary Learning Commons at UCalgary's Spy Hill campus took place on Monday, 100 students are already several weeks into their studies here, training to be the new generation of veterinarians.
Excitement, making space for our new vets. So we're doubling our student numbers from 50 to 100, and this provides them with the space they need to learn.
Weller says Alberta is near a crisis-level shortage when it comes to vets, citing premature attrition rates due to stress and long work hours, along with an aging workforce.
Bad. It's seriously bad. We have a crisis-level shortage. In 2021, April, the Alberta Veterinary Medical Association published a report that showed 600 and odd openings. Just a few weeks ago, I saw the updated report. It has gotten worse, and we are right now at around 900.
The Alberta Veterinary Medical Association estimates a ratio of approximately 3,700 pets per one vet team. That's a big problem for an agricultural province like Alberta, hence the $68.5 million investment from the government to build the new facility.
We are an agricultural powerhouse here in Alberta. We have a massive livestock industry, and that livestock industry relies on having veterinarians in rural Alberta.
The doubling of students also means more young adults like Megan Bradbury are able to study and hopefully work in their home province.
I'm actually born and raised Calgarian. I came into school only wanting to do small animal, and since coming here I have actually learned that I have a passion for cattle, and I would love to go into bovine medicine.
Calgary's veterinary school is one of only 5 across Canada. Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
To apply to the UCVM, you have to be a resident of Alberta and meet certain criteria, which can be found on the university's website, vet.ucalgary.ca. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Have a good night.